Today, I sit down with Dr. Carlos Caballero, a hair restoration expert with over 16 years of experience and co-founder of Medik Hair Clinic alongside football legend Joaquín Sánchez. We're breaking down the truth about hair loss, from scalp health to real hair growth strategies and the latest techniques changing everything right now. If you've ever worried about losing your hair or want to know more about hair transplants, then this episode is for you.
Spain is the country with the highest rate of alopecia type MAGA, and we have almost 40% of the population, and worldwide rate is around 30%.
Most of your clients are men, right?
Yes, but there is a 15%, almost 20% of women. And one of the things that we do in women is eyebrows.
Yeah, and that's becoming more popular.
It's becoming very popular.
What is the most important thing when choosing where to do the hair transplant?
Well, experienced, number one. Number two is experience. And number three is experience.
Which you have enormous.
You have to specialize and focus just in one area. My patients sleep here because this is a hotel, very well-known hotel in Marbella.
And you're the only one in Spain, actually, who
actually
offers
in Spain,
this service.
That's right. Some men don't have, because of their genetics, they don't have follicles in the face, they don't have beard. And we do hair transplant as well.
This episode is brought to you by Medik Hair Clinic, the first and only hair transplant clinic located within a 5-star hotel in Marbella. Hello everyone, here we are with a new episode of Marbella Life, and we're in this beautiful clinic of Medik Hair in Guadalpin, Marbella, sitting with Dr. Carlos Caballero. Thank you so much for coming, from taking the time off your busy schedule. You're a really hard guy to catch, because you're very demanded.
Thanks God, we have had a very good arrival here in Marbella, and we have been quite welcome, and we have a lot of work actually. I'm quite busy.
Yes, you are, and your reputation precedes you. You have very good recommendations. So I'm really interested to find out more about your clinic, about your work, about your background as a doctor, and yeah, let's just dive into it and just maybe introduce yourself, and also tell me a little bit about your background. Where are you from, and how did you get into this business?
All right, I'm from Spain, but actually I studied in the US since I was a little kid from the high school, and after that I came back to Spain and I finished medicine here, and after that I became a hair transplant surgeon and cosmetic. And I'm doing hair transplant like 16 years ago, will be next month. And that's my specialty. So we do that service to everyone who needs that.
But did you always know as a young child that you want to be a doctor?
I did, because actually my father's a doctor. And somehow when you see that around at your home when you're a little kid, somehow you go through that path. And I was quite sure that I wanted to be a doctor, and after that I went into the cosmetic medicine, and I loved it. And hair transplant is probably one of the nicest areas in cosmetic medicine. I'm sure of that.
So what attracted you, or what convinced you to be specialized in this?
I got into this area because actually I was already doing cosmetics, and honestly I have to say that it was such a large demand that everybody asked for that treatment and hair transplant, and that was when I specialized in this. I did my master in hair transplant at Universidad de Alcalá, and after that I initiated my practice in Portugal actually. In a very well-known clinic over there, and after that I independized somehow. I became the medical director of a very well-known clinic in Spain as well, from a football player, by the way. And I was this director, and after that I kept doing my activities by myself.
So what made you go solo, and what made you think of, because you were very well established, you said you're a director of a big clinic, you have a good you have very good position. What made you want to open up on your own and do your own business? Because it's also a big risk.
I did open by my own. I always did have this idea. I had a clinic before. After that, I became director of that clinic that I mentioned before. And I made a friendship with my partner now in the business. He's Joaquín Sánchez. He's a very well-known football player, another football player, but he now is my partner in the business, in the clinic. And yes, that's why I decided to go through that. Our friendship helped, but I was going to do it anyway. And Marbella, why Marbella? Because that's where I established. This is where I established. This is the place where I made all the background of my patients. And this is the place where I was the director of that clinic that I mentioned previously. So I had all the patients asking for me somehow for all those years of activities. And well, that clinic moved to Malaga, and I thought it was a natural relationship with Marbella, and it was logical to keep doing that activity in Marbella by myself.
That's well done, because I know you're doing very well. But tell me about some big misconceptions of hair transplant. What is something that people get wrong, or some myths about
Well,
it?
actually, there's a large misconception about it because people think it's a traumatic, it's a trauma.
Yeah,
it's a very
traumatic experience,
and
like
it's
a big
not.
operation.
It's not at all. It is much more easy than people think in terms of quality of well-being, and even more. We try to make that experience even more easy to the patient, because it's a procedure that doesn't last much more than 6 hours, and they arrive here at 8:30 in the morning, and by 3 o'clock in the evening, sometimes even earlier, they're ready with their hair transplant reconstruction done. And even more, my staff, my people, my patients sleep here because this is a hotel, a very well-known hotel in Marbella.
And you're the only one in Spain,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
who offers
Spain,
this service.
That's right. And we are the first clinic in Spain doing that commodity somehow. And all my patients stay here. They go with my nurses up to the room. They stay all night long, and they have a checkup at 10 o'clock in the night, a video call to make sure that everything's going fine. Next morning, 8:30 in the morning, they have a follow-up and a checkout and a checkup to make sure everything's fine, and they just can go home. And I think the experience is much easier that way. And well, we're very happy with the way we're doing things, and I think the patients as well.
Do you have any favorite patients, or maybe just in the beginning when you started, any reactions that you really remember, or any certain patients, any transformations?
Well, what I like the most is when you do women, when you do ladies, because hair is very linked to beauty in women. So the result, and you don't have to trim or shave your skin head. We do long hair, of course. We do long hair in men as well. But somehow hair transplant in women, it doesn't have an aesthetic impact initially, because nobody realizes, because we do with long hair in between the gaps of the native hair. We put the new hair in between.
How interesting.
And so they don't have an impact directly the very same day or the next days. And after that, it goes improving, gaining density, because the hair is becoming to grow. And that means that, and it changes a lot, beauty of a woman. Women, hair and beauty in women is a natural link.
Yeah, definitely.
And after that, I could tell you, I did few popular and very well-known football players. One of them was Joaquín, and Ter Stegen, Marc-André Ter Stegen was the Barcelona goalkeeper. And those are people then you remember, especially because we keep maintaining a friendship somehow, and that's nice. The most emotive situation I've ever experienced as a hair transplant surgeon is it's a person recovered of cancer treatment, and when you have a cancer and some kind of treatments, you lose a lot of hair. It may recover, but very slowly, and you actually lose part of the follicles that will never grow again. So, and when they are completely recovered, they are candidates of doing hair transplant if the conditions permit. And that's probably, and when they recover the hair after such an experience, I think that's the nicest experience that I have personally had.
But I'm assuming that most of your clients are men, right?
Yes, but there is a 15%, almost 20% of women.
And I feel like it's going to be also on the rise, because honestly, I really didn't even think about, like you said, putting maybe hair transplant when you, like in between. It's not that I don't have hair, but I would like to have more volume. And also I know you do other treatments, which I'm really interested in. And maybe you can tell women especially more about that.
We do mesotherapy. We do personalized mesotherapies for women. Mesotherapy is an infiltration of properties, vitamins and different substances that I order to be prepared at the laboratory for every single patient. So
they're tailor-made to your needs.
It's a tailor-made. It's a made-to-measure mesotherapy for every single patient, men or women. And that's one of the treatments that I offer, personalized mesotherapies according to the needs of the patients, men or women. Also the growing factors from the platelets-rich plasma or laser therapy or so on. And one of the things that we do in women is eyebrows.
Yes.
We do eyebrows hair transplant.
Yeah, and that's becoming more popular.
It's becoming very popular. We use these very tiny little hairs from the very bottom of the neck that we call in Spanish abuelillos. Those that genetically they don't grow much more than 8 millimeters.
Okay, because I've seen some weird videos also of women like growing really long ones.
No.
I guess these are the ones that have done it in Turkey somewhere.
That's not the way it should be done. You have to localize, you make a study, and you recognize and localize those hairs in the back of the neck, in the very bottom part, and you have to recognize the one that genetically don't grow much more than 8 millimeters. So, and they are thinner as well. And well, it's a very specialized type of hair transplant, because you have to know the design of this eyebrow, wider base, the tail should be thinner, and you have to make a nice design. So, and choose a proper hair. So it's a very nice area as well.
Plus, you do also beard implants.
Yeah, we do beard in men.
That's crazy.
we do beard in men. There are men that don't have beard at all, and they would like to have more. Last year it was on the mood somehow. It was quite popular having beard in men, and so some men don't have, because of their genetics, they don't have follicles in the face, they don't have beard, and we do hair transplant as well in these men. Also, we are specialized in transgender population. So. Male transgender, they're genetically born like women, and part of that transformation goes through the beard transplant, because they don't have, obviously. And that's one of the things that we do as well.
Very interesting. So you have a array of things that you do, but it is true that you are really specialized in hair, and you see that with many other clinics around, that they do many things from aesthetics to almost dental stuff, and then hair transplants in between. But I think, what is the most important thing when choosing where to do the hair transplant?
Well, experienced, number one. Number two is experience. And number three is experience.
Which you have enormously.
I mean, you have to specialize and focus just in one area. When I'm cosmetic doctor, and I could do aesthetic doctor, I could do any of the hundred of treatments in aesthetic medicine that everybody knows. But I resolved to just focus on hair because I think it's deserve all your attention and specialization, so you can offer the best service.
And I know you also offer different techniques,
Yes.
right? But which one would you say is the most popular? Or
The one I like most is sapphire. You know, the incisions made by a sapphire. But we also have the HI, and of course for extraction, FUE is the universal technique worldwide that has imposed somehow. But well, my favorite one is sapphire incision.
which is
It's a
why is
type
that?
of incision with a special needling. So it's more accurate. You can close and give it high density because every single hair is closer to the other, and you gain an actually high density result with sapphire.
And nowadays, I mean, there's so much talk about hair loss and, you know, stop hair loss early. Do you think there is actually, you know, maybe a certain age where you can actually reverse it? Or how does the hair loss work?
We know it's a genetic condition. Actually, it's called MAGA, M-A-G-A. That's not Make America Great Again. That's male androgenetic alopecia. It's androgenetic, so we know it's inherited by genetics, 100%. There are different genes involved in the inherit of this condition. In males and women, actually, in women it's called FAGA, female androgenetic alopecia, and it's the most common one. Actually, in Spain, Spain is the country with the highest rate of alopecia type MAGA, and we have almost 40% of the population, and worldwide, the rate is around 30%. Since this is the most frequent type of alopecia, you can anticipate to try to delay the expression of this alopecia, but you never win that battle. At the end of the day, you probably may finish doing a hair transplant, but you can delay a few years if you start soon doing some treatments to like mesotherapies. We have pharmacological treatments as well, and some types of supplements that you can use and lotions that you can apply to try to delay that condition. But honestly, at the end of the day, the genetics will impose and will win. So we can delay that. And when you are not going to be completely bald, or you're not going to have a large alopecia, you just can use this treatment to improve the quality of your hair, of course. And there are treatments focused to prepare for the summertime, that your hair suffers much more. There are treatments focused on preparing you for the autumn, the fall, that you also have some, what we call seasonal fall down or shock. And their treatments focus on those precise periods of the year.
And is there any good hair tips that you can give to people at home? What to do? Like maybe there is a supplement, maybe the diet, like you said, shampoos. What else can we do to improve our scalp and hair health?
Diets helps a little bit, but supplements like biotin, if you have a deficit of this biotin, B3, B6, B12, zinc, magnesium, you have different compounds that you can, in a preventive way, use if you wish. And also, a right shampoo with no parabens, these resins that have some types of shampoos, you have to be, I recommend using pharmacy shampoos that don't contain any of those substances. And in general terms, I also recommend drying your hair with a hair dryer, actually. In the
really?
cold, yeah.
Oh.
Even men should do that in the cold mode, not the heat mode, because humidity in the scalp, I say that it's like humidity in a wall. It doesn't help, but it just can make the wall break for forever. So because you change humidity, the the remaining humidity in the scalp, what makes is that changes all the bioflora, all those good bacteria that we have in the scalp and in the skin, all those lactobacillus capitis, lactobacillus dermitis, all those good flora or bacteria that help they are good for the health of the hair. And when you leave the remaining humidity, you just break all that condition and the pH changes. So if you dry quite right away with a hair dryer, I think you can help your hair a lot.
Wow. So here's a tip for you to remember, everyone. And what about, do you see also a trend that men and women are losing more hair? Like you said, there's 30% of alopecia. Is the trend on a rise? And why is that? If men are losing more hair every year, I feel like there is much, it's become like a bigger issue and younger, and the age has gone younger.
It is. Well, there are two things. One of them is that people pay more attention now than ever to the hair care and the health of your hair and the appearance of your hair. They didn't pay that much attention a few years ago. Now we are more due to that. And the other thing is that actually the way we eat it doesn't help us well. You know, the processed food doesn't help. Plastic contains different type of hormones that also help to fall down the hair. And both things, the way we eat is not helping at all in the last years. And actually in Spain, we used to have the very healthy Mediterranean diet, and we don't have that anymore. People eat in Spain worse than ever, and foreigners as well, and expats as well. So the way we eat, and also that we pay much more attention now than ever to the look of our hair and the health of our hair. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and like I said, we spoke a little bit about scalp, but if I want to like maybe know more about my scalp and how to even know what situation I have here, is this also the right place to come? Should I come for like a checkup and check my hair, scalp, and you will do it? Because we will probably.
It's a free consultation. You don't have to pay for that. We can give you an evaluation, and you can see how your scalp health and your hair health is in every day that you take an appointment, and we can let you know the way it is. And after that, we propose you the treatment you should go through if you actually need, or if you don't, we tell you as well. And if you need a transplant, we let you know. But yes, of course, that's why we're here for.
Yeah, because I'm really eager. We're gonna probably film when I come and see you, because I really want to know how I could also, let's say, have maybe much better scalp and hair, and I have extensions. So maybe we can do something here. So I'm really eager to see how do you check the scalp. So probably stay tuned and check my YouTube, because you will see what the doctor actually does to a person like me.
I'll be so glad to help you.
I'm really intrigued, because we go do facials, we go to the hairdresser, but really we don't. I think now we're starting to talk more about the scalp, but it is such an important part of just taking care of yourself. And of course, we are in Marbella, and I feel like there is a trend here to look your best, but it's also about it's a health of your skin as well, not just the looks of it.
Of course, it's healthcare of your scalp, healthcare of your skin, healthcare of your hair. And remember, especially in men, that when you get bald, your scalp is much more exposed to sun radiation. When you get older, you get what we call lentigos solares or keratosis actinicas. There are pre-cancerous lesions, issues that you go to a doctor and remove that. And when you get hair, it's like a natural hat. So this is our sun exposition plate all day long, and it's a risky area. When you get hair back, you are protected against the sun, just like if you're wearing a hat. Actually, the World Health Organization, WHO, recognize MAGA alopecia as a general common disease and not as a cosmetic problem. World Health Organization considers alopecia type MAGA, male androgenetic alopecia, or female androgenetic alopecia, as a general disease. So, because it helps to eventually have a skin cancer because of the sun exposition. When you have hair, it just protects you against that.
Wow, never thought about it like
it
that.
Is.
Yeah, interesting view. So it's not just about aesthetics, it's about protecting your skin. Like I said, this is we have skin under here. But is there any other hair myths or hair transplant myths that you hear people talking about a lot and you want to break these kind of myths? Or maybe people coming in with some big fears, like you said, that it's very, very invasive surgery and it's,
They think that it's, many people think it's painful. It is actually not at all. I always explain to them that it is like you'll be laying down, quite comfortable, you don't feel any pain at all, it's local anesthesia, and you'll be watching your
favorite show,
your TV show or whatever, and after that we have a break for lunch, 25 minutes, and we come back to the procedure, and you'll be ready around 3:30 in the afternoon, and go to your suite, and you stay there in that position that we recommend to stay. We position the proper way to the patient, and we see them the next day. So there's no pain at all, and people think that somehow it's painful. It is not. They get actually what patients are surprised of is that they didn't find the pain that they were expecting, and the most beautiful thing is when they get their hair back and their self-confidence just improves and they look nicer, because remember that the hair is the face.
Of course.
When you recover this forehead line that you didn't have before, and you recover the right proportion of your face, the upper third should be just the very same size of the middle one, eyes and nose, and the lower one, mouth and chin. When you recover that proper proportion, the right proportion should be, in the male should be 3 rectangles, in women should be like an oval, the forehead of a woman feminized as an oval. When you recover the right proportion, that's a harmonization of the proportion of your face. It is actually 100% cosmetic or aesthetic surgery. And I always say that it has more impact than any other aesthetic surgery in your face. And I'm convinced of that. We know what you like in a face, when you see a face, is the right proportion. The brain recognizes a beauty face because of the harmony of the proportion of that face. It's actually linked to the aureole proportion. Everything surrounding us has a proportion. And there is a number, there's a proportion called phi. The aureole proportion is everywhere surrounding us. And beauty goes through that path as well. And aureole proportion goes through the proper rectangle in the upper third, the middle rectangle here, and the lower one. When you make a test, there has been some random test, and they show to people in the street different pictures of faces, and it will surprise you that they choose and they pick at the one they like most according to the proportion. And the forehead line just squares your face. Because when you're bald or you have recedings, you have a much larger upper third. So it's out of square. And when you recover the forehead line, you recover that proportion, you recover that harmony, and it gets actually more beautiful.
Yeah, more confidence for sure.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, because for sure, even me as a woman, and all women can relate to this, and men, that hair really gives the confidence. If you're having a bad hair day, it can ruin my whole day. But if I have good hair, I'm coming out of the hair salon, I feel like, you know, I feel different. I act different. You know, like it's such a huge part, I think, for men and women, whether the men acknowledge it or not. But I do think men are starting to realize what a big difference like such a small procedure can make to your confidence, to your life, to everything.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very.
And it's a beautiful job you have, so you can really make people happy, you know?
I
Everyone
love it.
leaves with a smile.
I wouldn't change my love for any other one in the world. I just love it.
So where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
I would be very happy just seeing myself just the place I am now and the way I live now and the way I do the job I'm doing now, because I actually like what I do. And as you said, you make people happy. And that's one of the nicest things you can ever do in your job.
Right.
And what do I see? Well, just the way I'm now, doing what I like and just running my clinic the way I'm doing.
And when you're not running your clinic, how do you spend your free time? What kind of
Well,
hobbies do you have?
that's the problem. I don't have much free time. But
When you have free time, you're doing a podcast.
That's right. Well, I like sports and I like taking care of my health. And, well, you know, I do sports. I try to...
Do you play paddle like everyone in Marbella?
yeah, I do also. I play paddle, I play golf, and I like football as well. And I go to the gym. Well, I do my best. And I spend time with my family. And, well, that's what I do. I think I have a very normal life.
But maybe you can name, I always ask my guests, what are your favorite places to go? And let's say it can be eat or just where do you spend time in Marbella when you have time? You can just name 2 or 3 places and the rest you will find in my blog.
I love, well, there are many nice places in Marbella, but I love a place called Luma. It's Luma. I think it's with 2 M's. It's somewhere in
Luma Beach.
Luma
Club?
Beach
Yes,
Club. It's just
beautiful.
beautiful. I think it's one of the nicest places in Marbella to spend a dinner in good company, relax with now. I mean, it's out of the noise and probably with one of the nicest sea views. And I just love that place. I love Lobito de Mar, de Dani Garcia, my friend, by the way. And, well, I like Marbella Club. I like Puente Romano. I mean, places around here. Leña. I love Leña as well. And...
yeah, well, you don't have to name more because I always like to keep some, especially the local restaurants, you know. I love Marbella Club. I love Puente Romano. They're beautiful. But the best gems are actually like the local restaurants or the smaller places that maybe people don't know. So you have to visit my website and you will find the list of all of your favorite, you know, Spanish places and these beach clubs that maybe are not so well known that we locals go, because these are the ones you want to know.
Right, I will see. I will see.
Like we said before, what makes your clinic so unique is the fact that really you can step in here. You have this beautiful space here, and right through this door is the hotel. So you have lots of privacy here. So you really come in here, you go and spend the night up there, you relax, you have the doctor right here, and then you can just leave. Your car is here. So this is a very appealing place for people who want a lot of privacy as well.
Yeah, if people want privacy, we actually have a second place inside the hotel, and they can get from the back door somehow, and it's like a more private waiting room that we have in another local inside the hotel, not in the front door. And that gives people that don't want to be recognized or whatever to have that privacy that they're looking for. And what differences are, I think you asked that as well, I think is the personalized treat that we give to our patients. Every single patient just get the treatment and the attention that they deserve and they need. And we are a boutique clinic if you want. We have a lot of job and we make surgeries every single day. But we try to do a follow-up, very personalized, for you to have an idea. The very same night that the patient has the hair transplant, for example, he's at his room already host with his family or with his wife or whatever. We call them at 10 in the night by video call just to make sure that they still are doing the right position, that the swelling is not going frontwards, but it's going backwards. It's the way it should be. I think that close attention is what people appreciate more.
Definitely. And when you're doing something, it is your face and your hair, you're really worried. So you want to have that confidence that, you have the doctor nearby or you can call and be here. I would prefer any day if I do a procedure that I can stay than rather to go home and travel and then worry that
sure.
I don't know what's going to happen. So
not only patients from another cities or another countries, that they come from another countries, come here to do the surgery. They host at the hotel. They spend here like 3 days because at the 4th day they should have the first hair wash, and we do that for them. But even people from Marbella, we are in the Golden Mile, Sierra Blanca, Zagaleta, Nahueles, everything around here is a very nice place. But even people living in Marbella, they don't go back to their house the very first night. They prefer to stay here and host at the hotel the first night because they know they'll be close to the clinic, 2 minutes elevator to the place, and they know that eventually they can come here and see what happens. And next day, 8:30 in the morning, they're going to have a checkup. So even Marbella residents, they stay here that night.
Yeah, it's like a nice security thing. You're probably going to be fine, but just in case, I want to be like kids want to be next to mommy, just let me stay close to the doctor. So just in case if something happens. So I totally understand people. So I think this clinic has a very unique point. And of course the experience you have is immense. And I love that you are just really focused on this, not that, your focus will be somewhere else. You're focused on hair and all the latest techniques, and you're really an expert in your area. So
thank you.
Marbella is very lucky to have you working here.
I'm very happy, very lucky being in Marbella as well.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's any other areas you would like to touch on.
I invite anyone that wants to see how his hair or her hair is to come here for free and have a free evaluation and just give them our best advice with no compromise. And after that, everything comes along.
Yeah, and of course we have this huge benefit that you speak English, because we have amazing doctors here, but not all of them always speak English, which for me as a foreigner is very important, that I can ask the doctor questions in English, because some of the terms I feel could be a bit too tricky to speak in Spanish, even though I speak Spanish. So I think that's like an extra confidence for people who are foreigners, that you can come and speak English to a doctor, and your English is so perfect. So
I did most of my academic formation and skills in United States and England. So that's, I think that helps to foreigners and English-speaking people.
Definitely. So anyway, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information, and I can't wait to check out my hair, my scalp, and see what we can do. And yes, stay tuned for little mini episode about the clinic, as we will share all my hair secrets and all the secrets that you can do to my hair. And yes, if you love this show and if you love these episodes, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. This episode is sponsored by Wellness by Boho, a holistic sanctuary at Boho Club offering yoga, energy therapies, and next generation treatments for mind, body, and soul.